would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all. Something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
The president has always had a very odd conception of Vladimir Putin. I think he's thought that he and Putin could be kind of friends and partners and could make deals together and so on. I don't think Putin has changed. I don't know what the president's talking about.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
You know, there's nothing that gets under Trump's skin quite like when a host on his once prized megaphone turns on him, especially when that host is chief political analyst Britt Hume. And especially when discussing his prized bromance with Vladimir Putin.
This is the way Putin has always been. He's always been a particularly brutal dictator, willing to take whatever measures he thought necessary to advance his interests, whatever he thought he could get away with. He thought he could get away with invading Ukraine. He thought he could conquer Ukraine in a matter of days. He failed to do that, and he has been spending his own people's blood and treasure for as long as he's needed to after that. And now he seems more intent than ever. He's the same old Vladimir Putin. So I hope the president has had a real moment of truth about him and will proceed accordingly.
Oh yeah, remember that during the campaign when he promised that he would end this war in a matter of 24 hours once he took office? How's that going?
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely over.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
Well, this week, Fox News chief political analyst Britt Hume pushed back at Donald Trump's recent claim that Russian President Vladimir Putin had gone, quote, absolutely crazy in a Sunday social media post. Trump wrote that he'd always had a very good relationship with Putin, with whom he is attempting to broker peace over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But he went on to claim that, quote, something has happened to him after Russia launched a huge new attack over the weekend. Hume, along with anyone who wasn't gawking at the autocrat's unwavering grip on power, could see this coming and just outright dismissed the notion that Vladimir Putin's behavior had changed. I mean, this is who he has always been. Hume claimed that Trump, quote, has always had a very odd conception of Vladimir Putin, going on to say, I think he thought that he and Putin could be kind of friends and partners and could make deals together. And the thing is, all it would take is a quick Google search to see the endless amount of times that Donald Trump has praised Vladimir Putin in public.
Putin actually said to me, if you're my friend, I'd hate to see you as my enemy. He said that very strongly. But I had, with all of that, I had a very good relationship with Putin. I had a very good relationship with President Xi, a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Lots of good relationships. And that's a positive thing. That's not a negative thing. But at the same time, I'm about our country. So that's why we're talking about tariffs. We'll be taking in trillions of dollars.
I want to get to the tariffs in a minute because we're going to first hit the other.
Along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing. Yesterday, reporters asked me if I thought President Putin was smart. I said, of course he's smart, to which I was greeted with, oh, that's such a terrible thing to say. The problem is not that Putin is smart. The real problem is that our leaders are dumb.
Compared to his counterpart saying basically that he prefers the First Lady over Donald Trump himself.
Well, I want to thank everybody. We just spent 2.5 hours talking to Vladimir Putin, and I think some progress has been made. It's a terrible situation going on over there. 5,000 young people every single week are being killed. So hopefully we did something. We also spoke to the heads of most of the European nations, and we're trying to get that whole thing wrapped up. What a shame that it ever started in the first place. So, but I want to thank Melania and for your leadership in this very important issue. It's an amazing issue. America is blessed to have such a dedicated and compassionate First Lady. I would tell you she is very dedicated. In fact, if you look at just what I heard, Putin just said they respect your wife a lot. I said, what about me? No, they like Melania better. That wasn't good. I don't know if that was good. I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
And while Britt Hume put it, much kinder than I would, downplaying it as Trump had a, quote, moment of truth about the Russian president.
I don't think Putin has changed. I don't know what the president's talking about. So I hope the president has had a real moment of truth about him and will proceed accordingly. He does, as you've just heard pointed out, have leverage, economic leverage in particular, but military leverage as well, because we could supply the Ukrainians with more arms than we have, and that might turn the tide.
That's been a perspective in Congress, even within the president's own party. Some are now saying it's time to get the sanctions on. Here's what Senator Chuck Grassley had to say. He wrote, "I've had enough of Putin killing innocent people. President Trump, take action, at least on sanctions." Do you think that Congress is going to act here with or without perspective in Congress, even within the president's own party? Some are now saying it's time to get the sanctions on. Here's what Senator Chuck Grassley had to say. He wrote, "I've had enough of Putin killing innocent people. President Trump, take action, at least on sanctions." Do you think that Congress is going to act here with or without the president's blessing?
Well, I think it would be hard for Congress to act without the president participating. But I think that the sanctions are really a possibility for the president and for Congress if they choose to work together in this instance, because Russia is dependent on oil sales and oil transfers and energy. That's, you've heard it said that that country is nothing but a gas station with nuclear weapons. And there's some truth in that. And if we were to impose secondary sanctions on countries that are buying oil and natural gas from Russia, that could have a real impact on the Russian economy, and it's something I think Putin would feel, and it might get him to change his ways. What it will do.
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour.
Beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't have. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
Connaissons tous la situation.
I think we all understand the situation. Russia is the aggressor, and Ukrainians are the aggressed people. We must respect those who have been fighting since the beginning.
Il y a 3 ans et de continuer à le faire. Et quand je dis nous, ce sont les États-Unis d'Amérique, les Européens, les Canadiens.
We're all right, Europe, Canada, the Japanese, to help Ukraine and sanction Russia 3 years ago. And we will continue to do so.
And what happens is said oppressor just grows further in confidence and continues to escalate the situation. But what do I know? I mean, let's listen to the guy that said he was going to resolve it in 24 hours again.
But from the night I won, and I called 2 people. You know the 2 people are? Putin, right? You know who Putin is? And Zelensky. And I'd say, we're going to meet. We're going to meet. And I guarantee I could work that out. I guarantee. I know exactly what I'd say, by the way. I know exactly. I tell one guy this, and I tell one guy that, and I say, you better make a deal. We would have a deal made in 24 hours.
We had a good talk, and I think that progress is being made. 5,000 young soldiers are being killed every single week on average. Can you believe 5,000? And it's actually a number probably worse than that, in addition to other people that are being killed in towns. And we're trying to stop it. It's a bloodbath. It's an absolute bloodbath. I've seen satellite pictures that are so bad, so horrible, and that's to think that in this day and age we're living with this horrible thing that's going on, and we're doing the best we can. This was not our war. This was not me were doing something from the last administration, how they allowed that to happen. It wouldn't have happened. It would have never happened. And you know, the Ukraine-Russia wouldn't have happened. But I'll tell you what else wouldn't have had. October 7th would not have happened. This was a terrible thing also. A lot of bad things happened in the last 4 years. But good things are happening now.
But he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.